The Investing Project is about helping ordinary people achieve substantial wealth without upending their everyday lives. The Million Dollar Experiment is a real-time example of this project in action. And my foundational premise in leading this project is that I am not an expert in any of these topics. Rather, I'm building a system that weaves in other people's expertise and makes it possible for me, and you hopefully, to achieve tremendous results in a very short time. So remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't just blindly copy me. Instead, use this as a framework to integrate your own choice of experts that will help you achieve the results you want. Welcome to week 23 of the Million Dollar Experiment. This is our week 23 update. Long story short, this has been a continuing series of challenging trades in the market. So we had 7 trades this week. 1 of them was a win. 5 of them were losses, 1 break even. We ended up down $424. We'll talk about those in more detail when we get into the spreadsheet. On the compounding growth engine side, we did manage to write $452 worth of option premium, so that was quite good, in excess of our target for the month. And we'll talk about that more in detail shortly as well. All right, let's look at the spreadsheet, look at the details. As I mentioned at the outset, we had a negative week for trading. So if we jump over and look at the actual trades this week, we can see here we are. Let's just focus on these. Yeah, it's been really tough to find good trades. The first day of the week, which was the first day of the month for the Million Dollar Experiment, we ended up losing $550. I ended up taking 3 trades more or less at the same time, and they all didn't work. And that wasn't a brilliant thing. So I've got to be a little bit more reticent about doing that. I've got to make sure that the trade is actually working, the first one, before I put on the second one, for example. Anyway, I've got to look at that. But these weren't great setups. And we followed up with the Tuesday where it wasn't a great setup either. We've got to take the trades when they appear, but they haven't been great quality. On the Friday, we had the first one was a loss, but then we had a reasonable win. Again, this would have been a better win if I'd been confident enough to go in with size. But mind you, the MNQ2 is pretty good. In this case, I actually bought one on the 5-minute. I bought a second one on the 15-minute confirmation. So I did actually double down. So actually, I think the execution on this one was pretty good. But all things considered, it's been a pretty poor week. So we ended up with the week down $424. And now if we look over at the investing, this is actually going very well. We've closed out the week at the end of last week, or closed out the month at the end of last week with some good gains. We then wrote a number of put contracts. So we ended up, or actually one of them was a covered call. So because DRAM was having a down day on the Friday of last week when I closed it out, we didn't write the covered call until we had an up day. So at the beginning so this was a down day on the week before when we closed it out. Last week, early in the week on the Monday, we did have an up day, so we did write the covered call. We picked up $195 for writing a call right at our strike of $60 for September the 11th. And we wrote 2 put options, or 2 sets of put options. We had 2 contracts on the CDE for $17.50 and 1 contract of IRAN at $39. All of them expiring September 11th. Total was $452 of premium. So if we go back here and look at our numbers, our target for trading for the month will be $1,841, and currently we're in the hole by $424. Our target for income from the investing, from the growth engine, is $186. We've already blown that away. We're at $452, so more than double. So that's looking really good. And we'll keep track of that as we go. Nothing yet on the accumulation engine. We just don't have enough money there to do anything interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that, and at the right time, we'll jump in. But that's where we are. That's the update for the week. Things are proceeding on track, more or less. We, of course, have to recover from this deficit, but I have no doubt that we will. Oh, just one more thing before we sign off. If you would like to download the exact plan and blueprint that we're using to drive the Million Dollar Experiment, you can download it for free from our website. It's at theinvestingproject.com. The link is in the description. There's also our Million Dollar Experiment YouTube channel where you can see all of the trades that we place as we place them.